Hello, darling heart, and welcome to the Drink Less, Live Better podcast. This is the podcast that helps you to see that drinking less doesn't need to be stressful, lonely, or boring. I'm your host, Sarah Williamson, and I decided to have a year alcohol-free as a little life experiment and haven't looked back. With my experience and training, I now help other women with their alcohol-free or drink less adventures. I'm here to tell you that you can be truly joyful without alcohol in your life. Join me here each week to find out how. Today, I'd like to tell you a story about how drinking alcohol was sometimes something I did to please other people. There was a whole load of different reasons why I felt fearful about choosing my alcohol-free life experiment, ranging from the completely ridiculous to the just about justifiable. One of the reoccurring themes, though, was worrying about what other people would say to me, say behind my back, or say under their breath. Now, before we go any further with this, let's just explore the other people concept. Who were the other people that I was worried about? Well, inside my head, they were my husband, my kids, my close family, my best friends, my extended family, casual friends, colleagues, acquaintances, parents of my kids' friends, online pals, and in fact also people I didn't know. They exist in a kind of hierarchy in my mind, and I worried about what all the people would think when I told them I wasn't drinking for a whole year. 2 interjections just here. Number 1, we always think that other people are more interested in us and our lives than they actually are. This is normal, and I have a word with my ego anytime I start to think differently from this. Number 2, what other people think about us and say about us is none of our business, and it should stay this way. On my list of other people I was worrying about, some of them I would never need to tell. I didn't owe them any part of my story. I needed to tell them I didn't drink as much as I needed to tell them that I prefer DMs over trainers. It's information that just doesn't matter to anyone who doesn't really know you. Then I had a thought about that saying, those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. And I absolutely knew that would be true with all of my close family and friends. My husband barely batted an eyelid when I told him about my alcohol-free life choice, and let me tell you, he can be deeply cynical at times. Last night, I told him I was going open water swimming for the first time, and he said, "Why are you doing that? You can barely swim the length of yourself." I love him, but he is not a man with huge belief. So, my husband, family and friends either did or didn't comment, did or didn't want to chat about my choice, perhaps chatted behind my back, or of course, perhaps they thought nothing of it. I struggled a bit with everyone else in my social circle. I found myself over-explaining to colleagues, oversharing on a mum's night out, and justifying my choice to a waitress in a bar who really wasn't that interested. And why? Maybe because I like to people please. Saying yes comes so naturally to me. I had these ridiculous thoughts that turning down a G&T at a leaving party felt unsociable. Saying no to fizz at a birthday felt rude, and that replying that I'd prefer a soft drink at the races was not playing the hospitality game correctly. I didn't want anyone else to feel uncomfortable. I was in discomfort myself, and I didn't want to share it. I didn't want anyone to have to make a special effort for me, and I didn't want a light shone on my choice or for anyone to ask me any questions about it. But this has all been such a gift of a lesson. With the passing of time, I've become so much more practiced and therefore better at saying no to the alcohol pushers. And I used to be one of the worst alcohol pushers. Go on, surely one won't hurt. Insert eye roll emoji right here. People displeasing has become so much easier, and of course, no one is really displeased. That was all my own interpretation of a situation that simply only existed in my overworked mind and not reality. Being alcohol-free has allowed me to stop worrying so much what others think in all areas of my life, and I'm crystal clear about the fact that my choices are about me and not about anyone else, and I'm pleased about that. I'm a really pleased person, in fact. Thank you for listening to this episode. Please listen in again next time. You can sign up to my 5-day Drink Less experiment and find out about working with me one-to-one at drinklesslivebetter.com. I'd love it if you could 5-star rate and review this podcast. It would make me happier than a kid in a sweet shop. Thank you, and P.S. I believe in you.